the way. Okay, there we go. Let's just wing it.
Are we here? We're
Yeah.
winging it.
Oh,
We're doing it.
oh
Yeah.
Lord, I'm still prepping.
Yo, it's
Okay.
okay.
Okay, welcome y'all to the Bored and Overeducated podcast. I am your host, Dr. B, aka Dr. Bina Berry, and I am here with my amazing bestie, Wilson. And today we are going to be breaking down the whole season 8 of Love Island. And we're so excited to get into the conversation. We also decided to go live over on TikTok, but those of you over there, you can only see me right now. But if you check other socials, for Bored and Overeducated, you'll find where we're both on. I just can't say where because TikTok has rules. Anyway, but we're here. How you
I
doing,
love
Bestie?
banning people. I am doing great. It is a wonderful morning on my side of the world. I'm just waking up, so if there's a bit of a delay, not with the technology, but with my brain, please forgive me, y'all.
So real, too real. Yeah,
I'm still catching up.
for those who don't know, my bestie Wilson and I, we met in college. But he now lives abroad and has for a few years. So yeah, that's why it's morning where he's at. And I'm in the United States.
Yes. Good luck to you all.
Like, yeah.
Where you won't catch me.
Or you will not catch him returning to. But yeah, we're so excited to talk about the Love Island whole season 8. Even if you didn't see it, please still join in the conversation. We'll still be talking about various points from it, and there's going to be things that come up that you'll probably still have thoughts on, even if you didn't see the actual episodes. So you don't have to be like familiar with the show to engage. And if you're new here too, it's important to know that you are considered our third bestie on our podcast. So if you are watching, if you are listening right now, hey bestie, we appreciate you being here. But yeah, let's get into it. So I know that Wilson today is kind of leading the points.
Am I? Or is that what you want me to do? Okay, look, this is
That's what
happening.
I thought you were doing.
Okay, so Love Island season 8 just finished the finale, and part of the ending of the show is that they go on dates, or at least with season 8 finale. This is my first time watching Love Island, and it was incredibly heavy emotionally the entire season through. But I will say I love how they ended the series this time around, because it was so beautiful, especially the Carl and Anaya Princess and the Frog themed date, where there were flowers and pictures, and and Anaya had a storybook, and it brought me to tears, because her journey on the show was a little bit more had a little bit more turmoil than the other 3 contestants. But like overall, it just fit. She really was the princess of the season, and it was so beautiful to see, and it was so beautiful to like just fall into. I really, really liked that. Like, that was my favorite one. She didn't even win the season. So the winners of Love Island season 8 were Bryce and Trinity.
Yes.
Who are in an age gap relationship.
Yeah, how old was Trinity? She's like 20.
Trinity is 22.
20.
Bryce is 30. And also they are intercultural, meaning that Trinity is an African American woman from Virginia, and Bryce is white. So so there's that. But anyway, like,
where's Bryce from? Why she get a whole breakdown and Bryce is white?
Well, I like Trinity a lot. I liked her attitude from the very beginning. I was so engaged whenever she talked, whenever she spoke, whenever she showed up on the screen. Something about her was just.
I really like her.
Her personality was bubbly.
Mm-hmm. It was bubbly. No, so let me start by saying I really like her. Okay.
Yes.
One thing that for me throughout the whole season, and this is a common problem for me as a psychologist when I'm watching reality TV, I cringe so much watching people water down their interactions with one another. And I would say
Mm-hmm.
Trinity, that happened a lot, right? There was so much of people saying, don't cry when they're having these deep feelings. And it just creates
Oh,
disconnect instead of allowing people to feel with one another. And so it just, I
yeah.
scream at the TV, like, no, feel together. Like even on the family day, watching people try to downplay being excited to see their family. It's like in one breath, you're telling me that you cannot believe that your mom actually got on this plane to come all the way to Fiji. But then when she's there, you're not allowing yourself to really take in the fact that she showed up for you. It's like the toxic conditioning around, how we've been taught to like connect with ourselves or lack thereof, or connect with one another. It just makes me sad, that
Mm-hmm.
people still are not understanding that they're watering down their human experience by like
Mm-hmm.
not just feeling together, especially when it's like positive feelings, when it's
Right.
beautiful celebratory moments. So, and I just think there was a lot of that with Trinity, even though I did see her like open up more and more as time went on to receiving the connection
Yeah.
with Bryce. Yeah.
I mean, you saw that, and what I saw was Trinity going straight for Bryce's mother or Bryce's grandmother and give her a
Yes.
hug rather than her mom, who was arm in arm. I caught things like
Wait,
that. I see.
you gonna say it. You gonna say it. Talk about it. What significance did that have for you that she went to Bryce's grandmother first?
I mean, I get that she's wanting to be welcoming. It's very southern to do something like that, where you
Yeah.
go to the guests and you make the guests feel overly comfortable, overly welcome into one space and whatnot, which is a remnant of slavery. I was just
Hmm.
wanting her to just greet her mom first,
Elaborate for the
rather
people what you mean that it's a remnants of slavery.
meaning when it comes to Southern hospitality, because Trinity is from
Mhm.
Virginia or born and raised in Virginia, and I'm assuming her family line is coming from the South in some type of way. When it comes to Southern hospitality, in regards to African Americans, Black people, and Black Americans in particular, um, the the stress, the strife of post slavery in the South, um, we tend to give as much as possible because we're constantly in a state of economic desperation, right? And so that has effects when it comes to welcoming others as well, because you don't want others to feel what you're feeling, and also when it comes to cross race relations, um, making people outside of one ethnic group feel extremely welcome and safe in your space, because there is something in the mind that says, well, my skin complexion is a certain way. I don't want them to feel fear around me. I don't want them to
You
feel
think part
intimidated
of
around
why
me.
Trinity was doing that in that moment was to um, provide additional reassurance of like, hey, I'm safe. Like, and you're saying more like a subconscious level.
Oh no, no, no! I firmly believe Trinity was not doing it for those reasons. I don't like the optics of that
Ah,
because Trinity is
okay,
from the
okay,
South, right?
okay.
No, but
Yeah, because I
I
was gonna
believe
say
that
I don't think
Trinity,
she was. I think she was just genuinely doing it. Like I'm so excited to
she
meet
was.
my family. But I
No,
see
she
what you
was.
mean about the optics and
Yeah,
how
I did
people
not
like.
like the optics of that.
Yeah.
Trinity, out of everyone in the cast, I would say Trinity was the most in her body, the most in control of her interactions with everything and everyone. Some may say because because we did find out that she is somewhat of an actress because she has been in some 2B originals, that there may have been some manufacturing when it came to Trinity approaching people, approaching the situation within Love Island. Um, but I will say that Trinity was probably the most, or one of the cast members who was the most in control of her image and how she chose to interact with people. And I
Hmm,
believe she would do things in order to gain the audience support. Um,
like
and
what?
I like one going straight for the grandma. Like that tugs on people's hearts. Like,
But
yes,
wait.
treat
So
Granny with love and adoration and sweetness.
But
Yeah,
Wilson,
like I pulled in.
but
She
on
pulled
one,
me in when she did stuff
hold
like
on,
that.
but
Yeah.
one side
Okay.
of what you're saying makes it sound like you think she was being performative. So that's what it's sounding like. You're like, I think she was doing things to pull on the heartstrings of the audience. And I don't perceive her that way. I think she
Yeah.
was, if that's what you're insinuating anyway. But like
Mm-hmm.
I think she was just being herself. I think there's
Mm-hmm.
also, because again, there's still so much healing to do within humanity. I think that
Right.
sometimes when people are just being genuine and authentic and really engaging in a positive way, sometimes
Mm-hmm.
we assume that must be through a lens of like, oh, they're trying to do this to gain like or whatever, and that person is like just existing. They're
Mm-hmm.
just being their authentic self and being kind. I think because we're still healing as a whole in a lot of ways, that people are still struggling to understand that just genuinely being kind and nice to one another like is a thing, and like it doesn't have
Yes.
to be for trying to win a show, or like it's just like, I love this person and his family's here, and I'm just being authentic and showing up and celebrating and saying, and giving her a hug or whatever. I really think she was being herself. And I'm not saying you don't think that, but it's just the way you were describing it.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like you're making it sound like, yeah, she was strategic.
Friend,
Yes.
at the end of the day, Love Island is a competition.
It is
With
a
it.
competition, but
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Hold it 1 second. Hold it 1 second.
it is a competition. Oh, also,
Let me finish.
hold on, real quick. This is
Yes.
the
Yeah.
thing.
Okay.
For everyone
Okay.
watching, towards the end, we're gonna go through and respond to some things. Right now, we're just starting because we have people commenting and asking
Oh,
stuff.
I can't see.
Yeah, it's
Oh, my
okay.
bad.
There's people on I can say TikTok, just can't say the other place. There's people on TikTok
Okay.
that are commenting, and those over here
Hey,
on
Savannah.
TikTok, hello, hi. We are also somewhere else. I just can't say where. So, but yeah, if you wanted to see us both, we're elsewhere. But you should be able to hear Wilson. What are you doing?
I just jumped over to the other place, and I saw Savannah in the
Oh
chat.
yes,
And
Savannah's here.
she's
Hi,
saying hi to
Savannah.
Savannah. What's up,
I'm
Lucas?
Lucas. Hello.
Mr.
Hi. Oh,
Lucas?
oh, it's
Yep.
Ash. It's
Yes.
Ashley. Hi,
Oh, what's up, Ash? Hey, how you doing? Oh, it's been a minute. It's
It's
been
been
a minute.
it's been a minute. Hi everyone over here. Hi, Jessica. We are talking about Love Island. Betty, yes, but we can't say that. But yes.
Mhm, mhm,
Oh, I
mhm,
wish there was a.
mhm. Oh wait, let me find my light. Okay, so anyway, so going back to what I was saying before, excuse me.
Remember, we
Going
love
back to what I,
being
yeah.
all human.
Just so
Usually,
going back,
usually Wilson does this, and we can edit it out.
so going back to what I was saying before, Love Island is a competition show. It's a
It
dating
is.
game show, right?
Mhm.
So I'm going to assume that the cast members are one on their best behavior or try to be on their best behavior. Do I believe that everyone in that villa was authentic to themselves? Absolutely not. Do I
Oh,
believe that
yeah.
there's yeah,
Yeah, absolutely not. Yeah,
not yeah. do I be,
no.
do I believe that there are gamers on
Yeah,
that show, meaning those who are
absolutely.
always thinking strategically?
Corbin.
Yeah, Corbin,
Corbin
Zach,
Gamer.
yes,
Zach.
sincere,
Zach
yes.
Gamer. Sincere in between. I do want to talk
Oh,
about Sincere. Hold up.
oh.
I do want to talk about Sincere, but
Okay.
where were you gonna go? Because I have a lot to say about
So
Sincere.
where I was gonna go with that, and I do put Trinity and I do put Melanie in there as well. Maybe Anaya, but Anaya just gives me very naive, very young. Oh, anyway, so Love
Oh, yeah,
Island
yeah.
is
Oh yeah.
a
Oh my gosh. We should
she.
just go person by
We'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there. So Love Island is a game show. Okay,
person. It
for
is.
$100,000 on the line, where you not only have to win, or I mean, not only do you have to compete against the other cast members that you are there with, because at the end of the day, the producers are manufacturing everything. They're putting everyone under a
And
stress
boy,
test in
did
order to get to that
they
money.
manufacture.
Yes, but also you also have to win over the audience because there's some level of audience participation, right? So not only do you have the audience you have to win over, excuse me, not only do you have to convince the producers to create a narrative, create a storyline for the viewers to fall in love with these cast members, right? But you
Mhm.
also have to pull in the audience members to want you to win. We want you to get to the end, or we want you to leave the villa, right? So, do I
Yes,
believe that there were gamers? Do I believe
for
that
sure.
many people were performative? Do I believe that there was some, not internal, there was some rigging going on? Absolutely, because again, this is a game show for $100,000, and this is also my first season watching.
Yes.
I do believe that I do not believe that any of the relationships were 100% authentic because in order to be 100% authentic, they would have to be in the real world. They couldn't be put into a stress inducing captivity. Look, we can get there. We can get there. You know what? You're the
Yeah,
psychologist. You're the
no,
clinical psychologist. I'm gonna let you jump in. I'm
I'm
gonna let you
with
jump in instead of giving
you.
my unfiltered
Let's
opinions
just go
about the matter.
person to person because everybody wants to talk about
Okay.
it anyway. So, do you want to start with
Okay.
Sincere? Because I think we
All
have
right. So here,
different opinions on
all
Sincere.
right, so okay, so here's the thing, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
I am very much into astrology, and so when I talk about these
What you do?
people,
Look
I'm
this
going
man
to
birth
start.
chart up? You don't know his birthday?
Look, he's an Aries sun.
Oh God!
He has his Mars in Sagittarius. He has his Moon in Sagittarius, and he's a Pisces rising. Okay, do you know what that spells out?
What is?
Chaos. Chaos.
Sorry to anyone who has those same.
No, I not well. Okay, no, because here's the thing. It also depends on the degree of the planets. It also
Mhm.
depends on where these planets are placed in, which houses they're placed in. If it's the first,
Mhm.
there are 12 houses in astrology. And of course we have 9 planets. Wait, Mars, Venus, Mercury, the Moon, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto.
Mhm.
9 planets. We have 9 planets. For people who think Pluto is not a planet, forget y'all. All right, Pluto is a planet, and it's also a ruler in my own chart. So, going back to Sincere, he is a Pisces rising. He is an Aries sun, and Aries people are like the babies of the zodiac, right? And they do what they're known for,
Savannah
or
said,
the
Savannah said,
tropes.
"How you know all this about this man? Because trust and believe." Wilson research. Wilson research. What is?
Sincere, sincere shows since for okay. Let me go back. For Aries, their trope is they're very
Mhm.
impulsive because they are the babies of the zodiac. But sincere has to be the most maniacal, manipulative, strategic person in regards to uh, how he wants to be portrayed and how he wants everything to be for himself. I would say Sincere, outside of Zach, was the puppeteer in the villa. So let me go back to the astrology. And people, please ride with me here. Ride with me, okay? Do you hear me, people? Ride with me. Get
Right.
in, buckle up, because I'm about to break down a little bit, okay? I'm about to break it down for y'all, all right? So he's an Aries sun, impulsivity. All
Yeah.
right. He is a Mars in Sagittarius. Mars and Sagittarius people are athletic, so they are sportive. But with Mars and Sagittarius, when it comes to relationships, the more the better. Okay, and
Mhm.
depending on on which house it is, I'm not going to give his house because that's none of my business. But I would say that he's more inclined to, or he's better suited for a polygamous relationship. Okay, meaning I don't think his heart chakra is open. I believe his heart chakra is closed, but
Mhm.
he's very much he's rule governed by pleasure.
Mhm.
Okay, and
Mhm.
Pisces rising people, they can be very persuasive. They are very charming type of people. They can create a story for you. And so do I believe that he believed what he was telling Melanie what he was telling Soul, what he was telling Amora, what he was telling the guys in the villa. I believe he believed that. But the best liars believe their lies. Okay? So that's sincere to me. Okay?
Okay.
He was not giving anyone anything substantial to hold on to. He was selling dreams. What did Phaser say to Cynthia in Real Housewives of Atlanta? You selling pipe dreams to these girls and you're not giving them anything. Like that's what Sincere was doing. Yeah. And he was putting my girl Melanie through the ringer. Oh.
Yes to most of what you said. So I 1,000,000% agree with the parts of like he was not being sincere, that he was.
No, you don't say.
and I kind of like the fact that just played out that way for that man. Like his name is Sincere, and he ended up being one of the most trifling ones in terms of behavioral patterns. Crazy work, but
trifling is not strong enough for me.
Oh, okay, we'll come back to that. But I see his. I definitely still see his humanity, you know me. So I think that a big part of what was happening, and keep in mind everything I'm about to say is an explanation, not an excuse, is I think Sincere has a low self-awareness, very much so, and people pleasing tendencies, and had issues with conflict, right, resolution and direct communication. These are all things that a person can learn. Now, this is not to take away any accountability for his actions. He was wrong. He did horrible things. He deserved to be held 1,000,000% accountable for everything that he did. But I don't think, that it defines him maybe in the ways that you do. Because you're saying, well, I think he can only be in a polygamous relationship, and I don't think I do believe
that. I did not say that. Those were not my words.
What'd you say?
I said that he would be better suited. He would be better suited for a polygamous relationship.
How's that different than what I just
said? Because
I'm saying what he wants. You're saying what you believe he's fit for. Is that the distinction?
Yes.
Got it. Okay, yes, I'll give you that. Yes. There's a distinction.
Because he never said what he wanted. He said he wanted Melanie, all right? But based off his astrological chart and based off his behavior in the villa, I believe he will be better suited for a polygamous, not polyamorous, because I don't believe his heart chakra is open, for a polygamous relationship. But, beloved, you're the clinical psychologist. So
I just think he's so young. I think he's so young and still.
He's 28 years old.
28 is his biological age. That is not his mental and emotional age.
Right. You're so right.
I think he's a lot younger than his biological age. Remember, the candles on the birthday cake tells me very little. Very little about somebody. I'm talking about his mental and emotional ages. And I think that this was really just a sign in showing where he's at in his development. I do believe for some people, yes, I think some people can authentically, of course, desire different kinds of relationships, whether it be open relationships, polygamous, whatever it may be. Like, I don't think we're all the same. So people are different. Just we're mammals, and they're different. You see different kinds of animal behavior across the animal kingdom. So we're not all the same. But I think in his case, this was just a sign of his immaturity, and that he didn't have a lot of relationship experience, and that he also has really low self-awareness, because I think he was genuinely shocked watching his own behavior. Like, I think he was even like, wow, I went and said that and then did this. That there is a lot of people have not been taught to really reflect on how they are showing up in the world when it matters. And they are on autopilot during times when they're not meant to be. There are times for autopilot. There are times for reflection. And I don't think he did enough reflecting. I think also the fact that he was so kind of easily moved by what someone else was saying, right? When Soul said that she liked him a lot, like all of a sudden now he likes her a lot. I don't think he has a strong sense of self yet, or a lot of self-awareness, and needs to learn better, like, communication skills, of course, and all of that too. But I don't think it's as defining of him in a permanent sense. I see it as a sign of where he's at on his journey. And I think as he evolves and grows, that he probably will desire, I don't know what he'll desire, but I would not be surprised if he did desire a monogamous relationship. I just think we got to see in real time that he is not mature enough for any kind of relationship structure, monogamous, polyamorous, it doesn't matter. Right? It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Um, so, friend, I want to say that I hear you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I will say that well, my rebuttal is that I don't believe he was shocked or surprised by what he saw during movie night. I believe that he was uncomfortable with everyone seeing how he was choosing to maneuver within the villa because during movie night, now y'all, none of this is linear. That's not how we talk with one another, okay? So please just ride with us, all right?
I'm extra.
All right.
Extra.
So during movie night, Sincere
Uh-huh.
was one of the people who was shown to be a villain of the villa, right? Meaning that if you saw within the show up to that point, there was a divide. Like the men would lie to the women, or they would hold back some things from the women, but they would tell their guys everything. KC, Corbin,
Because
Zach,
they felt safer
someone.
to do so.
Maybe so, maybe so. And the women would, I feel like the women were way more open to sharing not only with themselves, but also with the guys. But Sincere, all
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Sincere was lying to everyone. Let me break it down to you, okay? And he was also hurting everyone as well.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Sincere. So when Soul came into the villa, Sincere told Soul that he was very much into her, right? Um, but he also was telling Melanie, I'm not really going to explore Sincere, or I mean, I'm not going to explore Soul like that because I'm here for you. You're my number one. Like I said, selling pipe dreams to little girls. And
Mm-hmm.
Sincere was also lying to the boys, saying he kind of likes Sincere. The reason why that is important because we have someone like KC who was somewhat feeling Soul. All right.
Yes.
And something that I noticed when the guys started leaving the villa, I started to notice that everyone seemed to really like Sincere. One, because they don't have a bird's eye view like I do, like the audience does
No.
of Sincere, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in particular, when Caleb left the villa, or before and while Caleb was leaving the villa, I saw that he was showing nonverbal communication, that through nonverbal gestures and nonverbal communication, that he was kind of close and sincere, when I didn't see that at all during the episodes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that tells me that Sincere was creating a facade for the guys to feel close to him. Why is that important? Because wait, let me finish. Why is that important? Because when Sincere says, I'm feeling Soul to the other guys,
Yes.
none of the other guys are going to go near Soul. Why? Because they feel like they put emotional stock into Sincere, where they don't want to disintegrate their bond to Sincere for their own personal enjoyment or their own personal journey within the villa, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Sincere did not have the same respect. He did not build the same bonds with the other guys. So that told me that it was one way. During movie night, it showed that Sincere was giving one way friendship, giving one way relationships. Because if Sincere said to KC, "No, I'm not feeling Soul," KC would have went after Soul. He would have explored Soul. So not only jumping a little bit and connecting a little bit, KC, we're gonna get to KC later, but not right now. This is just a little tangent. KC kind of was playing Anaya a little bit, but mostly he did not explore Soul because he did not want to hurt his bond with Sincere. And the same thing, same thing with Caleb. Caleb did not explore Melanie because he did not want to hurt his bond with Sincere. And so going back, this is what I'm saying. Sincere
You
was
think
the most
Sincere was
manipulative.
a puppet master, but what I'm saying,
yes,
hold on. But here's where
Sorry,
we differ. I know you got some strong feelings about this man, like he also hurt you. But here's
no, he did not hurt me. I know what this is. All right, I know what I saw.
I don't.
And he was controlling everybody.
Okay.
Him and Zach.
Hold on. So this reminds me, because again, I see it through the lens that he is delayed a bit in his development. Again, we are not, to be clear to everybody, we are not disagreeing about accountability, because sometimes people keep what they want to hear. We both agree that the man is completely accountable for everything he did. So let's be clear. We differ on this point. I think what you're describing takes a certain level of awareness and skill that I don't think he actually has. This reminds me of when parents are convinced that their 4-year-old is manipulating them. 4-year-olds can't manipulate, right? Underdeveloped. and here's the thing: it can look similarly, right? Your 4-year-old, falling out on the floor in a store because you didn't get them something is a normal part of human development. They're not being manipulative. They don't have the emotional regulation skills. They don't have the ability to manage themselves well. But he, on the other hand, is, I think, literally just not developed. He's not developed very similarly. What is going on in the sorry, y'all, we got distracted by people in the comments that are being rude for no reason. And again, we're learning this other platform. Oh, okay. Does that work? I'm trying to block it. Don't mind. So this happens because Wilson is like new to being on social media with going live. So this happens, right? Where people just be mean for no reason. It means absolutely nothing other than what it reflects for that person and where they're at, because you could be choosing to do anything right now and you're choosing to be cruel to people who are doing absolutely nothing to you, right? So that speaks volumes about where you're at in your development. And I send you love and light and help you find something better to do with your time, like work on yourself. Anyway, back to what I was saying. I think Sincere is like not as far along in his growth and awareness of self as you think he is. And so you're seeing him through this lens of, oh, he's doing this like so consciously. And I really don't think he was. I think he, just like a younger child, is like reacting and responding to whatever's happening in the moment due to issues within himself that he has not addressed yet. Right. And I think as he does, that will help him be less this way towards people. And we also saw when he got an opportunity to see his own behaviors, like that he shifted, right? In his, but I know you're going to say that was manipulative as well. I'm assuming.
I will say that it was strategic because there's 100K on the line. You're not just trying to win over the audience, but you're also trying to win over the producer.
But again, you can't in one breath say that this man is playing a game and hurting people and manipulative, and then also in another breath say that you're encouraging him to do that better. Like we got to choose what.
Is that what I'm saying?
That's what I'm hearing. You're like, he did a poor job of manipulating the audience into liking him, right? Is that?
Well, yes.
No.
He is a people pleaser.
Something about people pleasing, and that's how you know it's related to things that he has to work on within himself as part of his development. Like a part of that about the people pleasing is you're only responding to what's happening often in the moment, right? Manipulation would be, I'm thinking 20 steps ahead. I think he was responding to what's happening in the moment most of the time. Soul's like, I'm really feeling you. He's like, I'm feeling you too, right? Like it's all in the moment. It's all in the moment that he's responding because he doesn't like conflict. He is uncomfortable with maybe even sitting with his feelings and exploring what it is that he feels. That's what's happening. Right. But I get why it's confusing because it looks similarly, right? It's the same reason why people mistakenly believe that a 4-year-old could manipulate, even though it's scientifically proven that that's developmentally impossible.
It is impossible.
Yeah, it's not possible. And I think he's mentally and emotionally young, right?
So let me take it back.
Mm-hmm.
I will say I do not believe that Sincere was thinking steps ahead. I do believe that he was reacting to stimuli, or he was reacting to the environment that he was in.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I will still say, because of his people pleasing tendencies, that he was emotionally managing every single person
Mm-hmm.
that was around him, where everyone
Poorly,
felt
emotionally
where
managing everyone around him poorly because of his
yes,
because of his lower emotional intelligence, because
huh.
he's mentally and emotionally
Mhm.
underdeveloped for his age. Do you see?
Okay, I see the connection. I see the connection because okay, okay, I see the connection. Okay. So you know what? If it's ever found sincere, I will take a step. I will take some of the things I said back. All right, I'm not going to label him as maniacal. I'm not going to label him.
You
Well,
think he's like this
I'm going
mastermind, like,
to. That's how he was coming off to me.
but
But you know what? It's
if you were going to be
but his
manipulative on
yeah.
the show, wouldn't you be manipulative in a way that's going to help you win this show? Like if you were really thinking 20 steps ahead, this would not be how
Mhm,
you would go about doing that, right? Because he pretty much
mhm.
guaranteed that he was going to lose the show.
Yeah.
It's hard, you know what I mean? It's hard for you to become this pariah that people are angry at, and then them go to wanting to make you win the show. So
Yes.
why would you be? That's how you know this is about his limited understanding and emotional intelligence around social interaction and how to connect with people, because he
Mhm,
wasn't focused on this bigger, like, I want to manipulate this to win. He was so worried about being liked in the moment by
mhm.
people that he wasn't even thinking about what he was doing and how it was going to lead to him being disliked. He did it
Right.
very poorly. Like
Right.
all it takes is like two people having a conversation and they would know he was doing it. So this is why you know it's just the mental and emotional stuntedness. But anyway, I think
Because
that's enough on here.
people were not pleased with sincere.
People were not pleased because people pleasing rarely pleases people. Nor does it please you. That's why it's on the trauma response list, right? It doesn't
Yeah.
actually function the way people hope it will. It might in the
Mhm,
moment get you what you want, right? Like everyone for a second is like, oh, I
mhm.
feel nice, but it backfires because you're doing that to everyone, and it's going to eventually catch up to you. And it's also a type
Yes.
of emotion, being emotionally unavailable, right? Because people don't know your true
Mhm.
thoughts and feelings, and you also don't know your true thoughts and feelings. You're constantly just mirroring whatever that person in front of you is doing, and it creates a big mess. So yeah,
Right.
Cecilia just need a little bit psychoeducate, or maybe a lot of psychoeducation,
A lot of therapy.
trauma therapy,
Yeah.
emotional intelligence skill training, and I think that
Mhm,
man will actually really want to commit to someone. I think he
mhm,
wants love. He just is
mhm.
struggling to figure out how to get that in a healthy way.
Right. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I agree with that. So next we're moving on to Melanie, his partner, right? So maybe some people are not going to like this, but I also think
Uh-oh.
Melanie was doing a lot of acting throughout the entire series, and I think she would. It what kept me in on this was during the movie night, and she stood up from the couch and she was telling Sincere, "When are you going to change? When, like, what is it going to take, Sincere?" Like when she did that, I was like, "That's an actress."
Mm-hmm.
Because she sent us on
It's my
she sent
best
us
friend.
on a journey. Wait,
Somebody
who
asked
are you
who you
talking about?
were. This is my bestie.
Oh, hi y'all. Is that Savannah?
No, it's not. Savannah knows who you are. No,
Oh,
it's on TikTok.
oh okay, okay. So going to Melanie, and the reason I say Melanie as an actress, or I believe Melanie was acting the entire season, is movie night in particular, where she was giving all of her emotions, where she was putting all her emotions on the table and telling Sincere, or asking, demanding, provoking Sincere to be authentic, to tell the truth,
Mm-hmm.
because I was so very engaged with her. And it was then that made me go, wait, hold up. I'm not the type of person to actually fall into a reality show. I'm not the type of person to build parasocial bonds. I don't do that with reality show because these are people winning money. And I'm just like, well, I could be on there winning money. right? So I don't ever.
I don't want to align with people doing something that I want to be doing.
No, like when I turn it off, you don't exist to me. I don't exist to you. Well, I never existed to you. So anyway, but
they don't even know you.
it was during movie night
Mhm.
when she got up from the couch and she was
Mhm.
screaming and she was crying. And she looked so drained, and I was pulled in. I was like in the story with her, and that made me go, hold up, I don't do that for people. I don't do that for reality shows. And then it made me play it back.
Oh, but why can't
How
it
Melanie
be?
was, huh?
Wait, but why can't it be that she was truly expressing herself and being authentic, and you connected to that emotion as one human to another? Why do they
It
got to
could
be
be
so
that.
dark side? You know,
No, it's not dark sided because here's the thing. This is a game show for 100K. All
it
right.
is,
All
but people can still
Also,
be
you don't have
authentic.
to win, but also you don't have to win Love Island to make a name for yourself
No.
outside of the reality show.
Mm-hmm.
People go on here to build a presence, to build an audience for themselves, separate from the reality show, right? And
Yes.
so that's also one of the reasons why I don't believe any of these people are ever authentic. But Melanie, in particular, is a great actress because from the very beginning, she came in very similar to Trinity, very bubbly, very I'm ready to find love and everything like that. Very, she gave like a naive
Mm-hmm.
persona, a very willing. She was a willing engager. She was willing to receive, right? And then we saw her with Beatrice in the very beginning, where her and Beatrice had a bit of a tiff. And she's from Philly. And I don't know if you know anyone from Philly, but the way that Beatrice was talking to Melanie, where Beatrice was trying to reprimand Melanie for being all in Corbin's face, someone from Philly would have reacted totally different from how Melanie reacted. Melanie was actually very controlled in that environment. And I was just like, huh, that's different, right? And again, I am very much an observer. I wasn't pulled in. But
Mm-hmm.
then there was a time where Melanie was playing Get Back with Sincere. Where Sincere was yeah, because she was playing Get Back with Sincere. She was like, what anything you can do, I can do better. I can do anything better than you. No, you can't. Yes, I can. Sorry. Anyway.
You had to get that.
Ah!
Right.
So
You to be authentic.
right. So in the very beginning of Love Island, we see her as this bubbly, willing recipient of love to this woman who can show that she can do what the guys do um to showing that she can be very connected with Sincere. What I'm saying is, I know I'm not describing it as to the best of my ability right now because I'm everything is very off the cuff, right? It's
Yeah.
just a lot of notes that I'm jumping from people. So please stay with me, stick with me here, okay? She was giving the audience so many characters, but also every character that she was giving was authentic to the situation, to the moment. But up to movie night, what we actually were seeing, if this was a rom com, we were seeing the beginning, the middle, the climax. Movie night was the apex of Melanie's um, uh, um, character in a way where
Wow.
okay, I can whoa, I can't keep doing this with you, Sincere. But before it was like, okay, Sincere, you want to play? I can play too. And the audience was like, oh, I like her. She's spunky. And I was just like, that's how I was in the very beginning. And also in the initial part, I was like, oh, she really is looking for love.
It's so
Oh, she
interesting. We see this through such different, like slightly different lenses. Yeah.
do we really? Okay. Maybe I was talking too much. I went off on a tangent.
No.
Please
You're
share.
right.
Okay,
I don't. I,
she's an actress.
she's an actress. I don't think she's.
I do not believe that she's
Oh wait,
from
so
Philadelphia.
you don't think she actually likes Sincere?
Oh no! I think she has some love for Sincere. I think she cares for Sincere. Do I think she's in love with Sincere? I think she's in love with 100K and building a following, and creating something for herself outside of the
I
show.
agree with you that like because there's these elements of a lot of them were like I went from 9,000 followers to 400 and something thousand followers, right? So you're not wrong that it's going to lead to growth on social media. It's going to could lead to $100,000, all of that. And you're right, from a psychological standpoint, adding in those kind of elements it's going to do something to human beings, right? But I just think things are so nuanced still. I'm not a big fan of like black and white thinking, because I think it rarely represents reality. So I think multiple things can be true at once. I do think that there can be elements and moments where people are engaging in gameplay, but also I think as time went on, honestly, people started to have a harder, well, some people, because we haven't talked about Corbin yet, but but had a harder time doing that. Like I think in the beginning that Melanie was maybe a bit more like affected by being in that environment with the cameras and everything like that. Because my opinions of her were very different in the beginning than where they ended up. I think as time went on, she started to really like Sincere, and that really started. Okay, maybe you don't. And that really led to her being pulled to more of a organic, authentic response, or as much as you can have in that kind of environment. Because I agree with you that environment matters. But I like, for instance, the scene between her and her mom, I don't think that was acting.
No, that was authentic. I don't believe she told anyone. Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. There are moments where Melanie is tapping in as a human and as a person.
Yes.
Right? And then there are moments where I believe with all of my heart that Melanie was giving an Oscar level performance. I'm a fan of rom-coms. Do you know what she reminded me of?
Oh Lord. No, what?
How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Oh, I saw.
Have you seen that movie?
I don't remember it.
See, I watch rom-coms on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm. No, I saw it a long time ago, so I don't remember. I have to go back and watch it, and maybe that will change my thoughts on it. I know that to be fair, I think it's important to note that like I majority of the time try to see things through the lens of like possibility and change for humanity, and it's definitely shaped by what I do for a living with being a psychologist, and
that's your trade, that's your skill.
I literally get a front row seat to watching people transform themselves and heal and grow in ways that they didn't think was possible. So I just have a lot of faith and like belief in people. So I don't know. I think that's why we have the slight differences, because I think on the fundamental like basis, all the main things, we're saying a lot of the same things, but we see
we are. We agree
slightly differently about what amount is authentic versus what amount is gameplay, because we both agree that both was happening, right? Like both things were happening.
And also I want to put a disclaimer out there that we should not be sending hate to any of the contestants. These are young adults, but at the end of the day, these people are still human. So if it seemed like I was painting Sincere out to be a villain, which he was, he is not a bad person. I don't know him to be a bad person, and I'm not going to say that he's a bad person. Everyone on that cast deserves some type of grace, because one, they're humans, and also they're young, and we're all programmed to behave a certain way, and it takes a lot of work to deprogram, and many of us, it takes our entire life to deprogram what was put into us as children. We are the result of our environments. We are. I don't believe any of these people are despicable, terrible, or
because that's what
actually
Savannah just asked that in the chat. She says, "So you just think everybody, or at least most of them, have ulterior motives, and nobody is ... sincere." No pun intended.
I love puns.
Yeah, and the answer is yes. I do think that Wilson thinks that. Yeah, and I more so think that this was a lot of young adults who were mentally and emotionally a lot younger than they actually are, even biologically, and they're put together in this environment that is, not the norm.
It's not natural.
But also we have so much psychology behind how putting humans in like abnormal environments like that can alter how people show up, right? We have things like groupthink that can be an influence on how people show up. I think we saw a lot of that happening amongst the guys for sure.
Yes.
Right. And feeding each other's like, oh yeah, I want to be accepted or included or seem cool. So then they would say things and whatever. But again, everyone's still accountable. Like even if
everyone's still accountable
behind it, you're still accountable for what you do and say, regardless of if you are being influenced by the environment or not. But yeah, I think Wilson is more like.
But also, what Dr. B is also saying is this environment is not natural.
It's not a natural environment.
Yeah,
and it's not an environment actually conducive to finding love.
Real love.
Or an environment conducive to like increasing the likelihood of drama. Like a lot of the things, because here's the thing, if they really wanted to increase the likelihood of these young adults finding love in this villa, on this island, you would have proper support there, right? There's no like mental health support. There's no like, you could literally, we've seen reality shows where they have that, where they will have professionals there to help guide people. And even those can still have their problems, don't get me wrong. But like it gives a different element of like, you actually have support and ongoing reflection of self, right? And help and guidance in real time. In here, they were like, let's just put them all blindfolded on the bed and let them kiss each other, see what happens. Let's just put a TV on the screen and watch everything and let's see what happens. Like it's definitely giving, let's be messy and see how messy things can get. It's not like, oh, we really want these people to find love. I think it's possible to still find it even under those circumstances, but it's not like going to support, it's kind of like, this is maybe not the best example, but I think it's fitting. It's kind of like how we in America have convinced ourselves that prison is somehow helping people reform, even though we're not doing anything to help people reform in prison. It's like BS, right? Like that's an environment where you're causing people more trauma, adding to the problem, increasing the likelihood that and again, they're still accountable for their actions, but you're not actually supporting them in their development. You're not actually supporting them in getting better. You're not even feeding them good, like food that's nourishing to their bodies. So come on now. So like that environment is a very similar thing. You're like, yeah, I give you all this beautiful stuff and you get to be with these people around your age and mingle and blah, 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 blah. And all that's great. But I'm also going to be throwing in wrenches and trying to stir the pot. Right. So it's not,
So with that being said, abolish prisons and say yes.
Because that was actually the whole point of this. Surprise, y'all.
Abolish prisons, abolish slavery, abolish the plantations, because that's what they actually are.
Yes.
So anyway, I believe that.
Let's cover one more person. Oh, baby, can you come here? Because people were asking who Marvin is and asked if it was you. Somebody was like, no, this is my best friend. You say hi. This is my husband. That's coming.
This is Dr. B's husband and my good friend.
Yeah.
Look at that beautiful man. Hey.
And Wilson.
All right, it just got TVMA. Mm-hmm. You saw how that it went from G-rated to TVMA with this. It's getting hot in here, and I got the AC on.
Yes. But yeah, so we're gonna cover maybe one more person, and then do unless you have something major that you wanna, because there's just I want to talk about.
Oh, my bad, y'all. So yes, Melanie's an actress, and I believe that she was playing a character based off of How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Mm-hmm. And so that's the reference. If I'm not going to go too much into it because we want to get into more of the people there. But yes, that's the reference that I was talking about. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so at the end of Love Island, we have 4 couples. We have Bryce and Trinity, the winners. We have Melanie and Sincere, who we touched on a little bit. We have Carl and Anaya, and then we also have
oh my God, Anaya. There's stuff to say there too.
The princess.
Yeah. I really like Anaya. I really like Anaya. I really like Carl. Yeah. I feel like he was one of the most emotionally intelligent people on the show for sure. But Anaya, okay, the moment with her mom. it goes back to what I said at the beginning of the live, so I won't harp on it. But it's just really hard for me to watch human beings mess up beautiful moments between themselves. Like I am like, what are you all doing? Cry together, embrace, love, feel the beauty of that. But like when her mom was there, I don't know if you remember, but she was like crying and so happy. She was overwhelmed with so much love and joy and excitement that her mom and her sister were there. And then her mom was like, why are you crying? What is wrong with you? This isn't you. Blah, blah. And I was like, oh my God, she's crying because you just flew all the way to Fiji, 22 hours to see her, to support her on something. Like, hello? Like, I just understand. Like, feel together, be connected. And then really the only reason her mom was like shutting that down is, whether she realizes it or not, is because she's not comfortable with her own emotions, because it was making her emotional. But this is not about you, Otis. This is about that person expressing their emotions. And if it makes you express your emotions, then lean into it and feel. I'm sorry. Welcome to my TED Talk, but can y'all just learn to cry together again? Like, please, everybody watching, okay? You came into the world crying and feeling and expressing, and you thought nothing of it. Crying is your first language. It was how you got all your needs met. It is healthy for our brain, for our bodies, and suppressing causes a lot of problems with your health. Crying is one of the healthiest things you can do if you're feeling big emotions. I just had to say that, because that scene was the worst. Anaya's mom, because it was both so beautiful, and I was also really frustrated because I just wanted them to connect. And then it made me think about how has it, and not to, I don't know these people, okay, y'all, but I can only go off what I saw in that moment. And I was like, what was Anaya's upbringing like in terms of getting her emotional needs met? Because if this is your default response when your child is having big emotions, and this is on TV and you think nothing of it, that tells me that odds are there was a lot of shutting down of her emotions throughout her upbringing, right? And a lot of having to perform. And this is why she's emotionally stunted, right? This is why she couldn't even tell when Casey was not feeling her, even though he was literally telling her that he wasn't, because he did, y'all, multiple times. The man did. I'm not saying he said it in the most direct way humanly possible, but he did. He said, I want to explore other connections. He said that he feels like he can't talk to her about it because how she'll react. And that's a part of that emotional stuntedness, because she wasn't allowed to express and learn, because that's how we learn, right? Through somebody allowing us to openly express is how we learn to regulate. But that other person has to be skilled at regulating. So anyway, so much I can say about Anaya.
Which Casey is not. And while I agree that he did drop hints that he wanted to explore, I also did not like
how. I would argue, was it hints? Was it hints? Or was it that he said, I want to explore? Is that a hint? A hint would be like, man, it'd be wild if some other people came in here tomorrow. Right? Like, that's a hint. If I'm saying, I think sometimes we don't like what we're hearing, so we choose to hear something else. Like, let's be for real. Let's be for real. Do I have to have a banner go through the sky to tell you, hey, I want to explore? Or is me saying I feel like we've been, locked in and haven't done enough exploring since we've been here? Isn't that being direct?
I would say that there is a portion where he was direct, but then we also have to look at it from, I want to look at it from another lens where he's kind of similar to Sincere, but less evolved. Where I mean, he's trying to manage emotions.
Oh,
so he would
sure.
So he would say things. So he would say, "Yeah, I want to explore." He would see Anaya getting upset, and then he would say, "You know what? But I want you to know that." You're a beautiful woman. I like you a lot. And, I want you to know that this is where I always come back to. Words like that.
Who said that? Sincere, Casey.
Well, Sincere said those exact words, but Casey gave some derivative of where it made Anaya feel, oh, he just want to talk. He just want to explore, but like we're kind of locked in without saying that we're kind of locked. He gave the impression.
Okay, that is fair. He did make it sound like he might come, but I think that's fair to also say I might return to this connection, because you don't know. That's the whole point of exploring. I honestly think KC did a fairly decent job of being clear about like, hey, this isn't probably the strongest connection. I do. But I also think, just like we saw when he came back with TT, just like we saw every time the man tried to talk, people did not allow him to speak. They bum rushed him, and then we're like, "You're not saying." Even when Trinity, that was a moment where I was like, "Trinity, like, chill." She's like, "You're not saying nothing, KC." I'm like, "You're not letting him talk." Like, but she's like, "You're not saying nothing." It's like, let him talk, let him speak, let him express himself. I think because he's more chill in his expression, people don't listen to him. I heard him, and the man was pretty clear about that. He wasn't sure about the connection, and he was clear about that multiple. Now, granted, how he went about talking about her in the group with the guys, that was not okay. But that was also, like he said in reflection, about the resentment I think that was building. Still doesn't make it okay, right? But I don't think that people listened to him, even when he was trying to express himself. And if maybe people had listened, he would have gotten even more out, you know? But
But also, if he didn't position himself to be the listener, but also the jokester of the villa, people would take him more seriously. Because if everything that comes out of your mouth, there's a giggle, there's a chuckle, there's a joke,
I mean,
it brings
sure,
down no, it does bring down people's willingness to take you as someone who can give a word.
sure. I don't disagree with that, right? If someone is constantly
Mhm,
hiding behind humor, it does
mhm.
increase the likelihood that the people around them may not be able to shift into seeing them, as more serious when they are being serious. It's kind of like when the Wayans brothers try to do a serious role or something, right? It's like everybody associates them with comedy.
Yeah, but Marlon Wayans is
But
the
Wayans
best
killed the
dramatic
role there.
actor
Yeah,
out there. He is
killed the role.
amazing.
That's
I'm
a
gonna be
side
so for real. Oh, that is a side note, but
note.
Marlon
But if
Wayans
y'all ain't
actually
seen
should
it,
not. He should
Marlon
not
can
be doing comedy. He
Marlon
should
is
be in
such a good
drama.
actor for drama. Anyway, but that's a
He's
side note.
good. My God, today, like I honestly, after seeing him in Requiem of a Dream and also in him, I actually don't want to see Marlon Wayans in any more
He's
comedy.
really
I
good
don't.
at drama. But we
He's
got to
so
pivot
much
that.
better in
We'll
drama.
have to talk about that
Yeah,
another
okay,
time.
yeah.
But no,
Another time. Another
it's a
time.
it's a prime example, right? But he is really good at. But I think that KC, after a while though of trying to show up and show that he was being serious in what he was saying, I do. I don't know, like, at what point are those people accountable for being poor listeners? Right.
Mhm,
And then if you move through the world seeing people as only one thing, right, is that on that person or on you? You know what I mean? Like, okay, he jokes a lot, he whatever, but we should have enough awareness, social awareness, to know that even people who joke a lot have real feelings and are serious about things. And to be able to
And also,
notice that and have
mhm,
space for them to share and not be
mhm.
screaming at them when they're trying to share.
And another real thing is that in societies, well, I'm going to say in American society, from what I've noticed, is that people people need to have a runt of the litter. And I'm not saying that this is an excuse. What I'm saying is this plays into Casey kind of being the punching bag,
Mhm.
but also,
My God,
but
yeah.
again, not making an excuse for his behavior. No one being at his door and him staying as long as he did in the villa, it made him more vulnerable to attacks, which I think he felt, which is also one of the reasons why I feel he was showing his frustration silently.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also going to disagree with you a little bit where he needed he needed to feel that visceral like he was giving to Anaya behind closed doors publicly. Because at the end of the day, this is a reality show, and everything he said about Anaya
Mm-hmm.
goes out into the public. So I hear what you're saying, but I
Mm-hmm.
also agree with Trinity in how she responded and being a
Mm-hmm.
bodyguard for Anaya because Anaya was humiliated. She was humiliated by KC on a
She
national television show.
she was, yes, and again, that was wrong.
Anaya was not Anaya was not doing that to Casey.
So
She was
the
she
way
was
that
trying to feel.
the way that we teach someone is to do the same thing to them.
No, no, is that what I'm saying?
Kind of.
Oh no, 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 no. That's not what. Ah,
It's
okay,
kind of
okay.
what
So
you're
okay,
saying.
so
That's the argument that
here's the
people
thing.
try to use to justify abusing children. So be careful what you say, because
Oh, no, 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 no.
that's not how you teach
I
something.
would never do that.
I know you don't believe that, but what I'm
Okay.
saying is, I don't think he had to be treated that way to be taught something. That is not actually scientifically, that is not the best way to go about teaching someone something, right? He needed to be held accountable, but people were like, that was not a productive conversation. I don't see how
It wasn't.
there was
wasn't, 'cause
nothing
he shut
productive
down.
about it. No one
Yeah.
was listening to anyone. There was just a bunch of screaming and yelling. Like, it was just not productive. And emotions were way too high to be communicating about it at that time, right? And also, let's be real, some of Anaya's anger was about her being mad at herself, whether she realizes it or not, because she had sent Carl home, right? And she largely, at least in the beginning, felt so embarrassed because he came with somebody and she didn't have someone at that time, right? Because of her choices. And if she was able to take a moment, take a beat, if everyone was able to take a beat, maybe two, they would recognize that, like, a lot of those feelings were being muddled and projected into other places that they didn't quite belong.
And I
Right?
agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I agree that Anaya was more upset that she found something that felt a little bit more authentic, and she didn't bring him with her.
And she was mad that he found something more authentic and he did choose it. That, like, that's what really happened. That's what really happened.
And I agree with that. And I agree with that. She was more upset with herself, and that's why she exploded the way that she did, because there were some things that were not communicated, that transpired, and she was upset that that type of unspoken rule that they probably had was broken.
Yes.
But I also feel like the same thing was happening on KC's end, where he felt like there was an unspoken rule that was broken from Anaya's point of view as well. And I'm just trying to figure out, why are they so upset with each other outside of the childish games that I feel Casey was playing. What is causing this? What is causing all of this? This
animosity.
This huge reaction. That's what I was trying to figure out, and we didn't get to that on the show. But I also think it has a lot to do with.
Yes. Yeah. It's like, black man, I chose you. You supposed to choose me back, and you chose.
But also, he was feeling the same exact way with Anaya in the very beginning. No one showing up at his door.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
No, it's deep. It's definitely deep.
Yeah, but
they got there.
When it comes to Anaya and Carl, a reason I feel like their relationship is authentic, because some people say that their relationship is not authentic. I think their relationship is authentic because they come from the same class level, and so there were signals that Carl was showing that he is someone of her class, someone of her social class, that made Anaya go, "Oh, this is familiar to me. I can accept this." And she was more willing to, explore something with Carl, but that unspoken rule made her go, "You know what? I'm not going to embarrass him by not choosing him like he wasn't chosen in the very beginning." And I think that also.
And it was just silly. Like, not to. Because I know there's a lot of emotion behind it, right? But it's flawed thinking. That's probably a better way of saying it. Because we shouldn't be making major life. Okay, obviously, right? They can break up after this, all that, blah blah blah. But, like, let's say we're seeing it through this lens of, we're really trying to see if we can find something meaningful from this show. We should not. That's really poor judgment and basis for a decision to be like, I'm going to choose you because I chose you before. Like, that's. Right? Even though I found something better in this person that I feel like is checking all these boxes, and we only ended up together, meaning her and KC, we only ended up together in the first place because we had to be, right? Like because of how everything panned out, no one chose him. She got defaulted to choosing him. Like it, it's kind of wild. Somebody said over here on the TikTok live, like Anaya was too deep too fast, and I agree. Like a lot of people were seeing this like, oh my gosh, we're already married, or we're already like in this deep relationship, and it's like y'all have known each other for like a week. It's like we have to have
Yes,
enough
Savannah.
awareness. You know, we have to have enough awareness of the circumstances to not let our ego be hit so hard in that way, or what. Like it's y'all don't know each other, bruh. Like you don't know
No,
each other at all.
no.
So it's not that. It's like it's not as personal as it kind of feels. If
Mm-hmm.
if things don't pan out, you're
Mm-hmm.
strangers who just got to know each other. And in the beginning, you can only choose that person who is the closest in compatibility to you based on who's on the island, right? Like
Yeah.
so someone else more compatible comes, you like again, this is why I think they need to have some kind of preparation, maybe with like a professional or two, to kind of help them be
Well,
prepared for the environment, like, and not get so easily attached to someone they don't know and to really
mhm.
be prepared for like what comes with, you know, that kind of dynamic.
Well, Twitter sources say that there are counselors on
Oh,
staff. So there's that. Not really sure how effective they are,
like
considering what's
during the
happening
show, after the show, before the
during
show?
during this during the show. Not sure how effective they are, considering what's happening in front of our screens.
Yeah, I don't know.
But apparently, there are counselors on staff.
And they're
Um,
seeing them. Like they're are they are the counselors just there to help with the
I
psychology
don't
of the show?
I don't know their life. I don't know their life.
Okay, yeah,
I
because
don't
I
know.
don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So that was Carl and Anaya and a little bit of KC. So we got Melanie and Cecile, Carl and Anaya, we got Trinity and Bryce. We touched on them a little bit. Question: Do 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 you feel like Bryce was a bit of a sad boy? Well, I mean, a sad man. Do you feel like he has like a little bit of I don't know, something about his mood and demeanor
Seems
was
sad.
always so somber and melancholic in a way.
Bryce?
Like
I
like
don't.
Bryce, because okay, so in comparison to Trinity, Trinity is bubbly, Trinity is expressive. She's like a sunshine, right?
Yeah,
But Bryce, and I feel like Bryce was infected by her sunshine, was infected by her presence, her essence. But I never felt by himself he was ever grounded. So I was always unsure about that pairing. Honestly, my willingness to give Trinity so much grace is probably because I really liked her personality and
hmm
I like how authentic she was in every situation.
and because she's from the
Um,
south and you from the south, but okay.
well, I mean, there's that like there's a familiarity
Uh huh.
with
This is why he's so
with
famous.
Saint her.
Yeah.
No, I'm glad she won.
Yeah, I know you are. What you say? What you want?
but
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Okay, so there's Trinity and Bryce. I'm glad they won. I was rooting for Trinity. And then there was Zach and Kata. Zach,
Oh yeah, I guess we do. Okay. Yeah.
Zach. I will say Zach is similar to Sincere in that he was puppeteering to
Yes.
get to the final four. I don't know if anyone else saw this, but Zach was sort of the catalyst, or he would give people a little push into doubt. He was always dropping questions, dropping statements that maybe people aren't as solid as they think they are.
I don't.
There was
I
a
don't recall this,
there
but I don't. I
there
don't
was
put it past
uh,
past him based on what I got. I just don't think he. I don't. I don't know that I believe he was really as into Kata as he wanted us to believe. Um,
okay.
yeah, I don't know. It was just weird how everything unfolded, but I think he also has some significant like attachment issues too. So it
Mhm.
could, I don't know. He's a little.
Okay, so you're thinking about his relationship with Kata. I'm thinking about his relationship with everyone in the villa because again, this is a show
where everyone's competing for 100K. And
Yeah.
I feel like Zach was a gamer. He wasn't in the relationship with Kata. So in my mind, I'm not even thinking about Zach and Kata as a couple. I don't believe it. But what I do believe is what I do believe is Zach was thinking, how do I get to the final four? And
Mhm.
he was treating Kata um as an afterthought. That's what I saw. Um, anything that seemed any couple that seemed more solid than his, he would say, "Hey, KC, what? Something popped up on my screen."
Oh, it was just the thing, the chat. It should be gone.
Okay, okay. So he would ask KC like, "Are you sure you're really into Naya? Are you sure you feel those ways about Naya? Are you sure about blah 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 blah?"
Hmm.
What which I feel gave KC more, which emboldened KC more to disrespect Anaya. Zach would do things to open the door for people to show their worst sides. You're just thinking about relationships. I'm thinking about the optics. I'm thinking about um, how are all these people going to prove to us that they're in authentic relationships when I know nothing about this is authentic, nothing about this is natural. How are they going to prove to us that they really are into each
Yeah,
other?
I
And and
yeah, I
hmm?
feel like the stuff with Zach just being not the most authentic, just mostly lies in his relationship with Kata. But
Oh,
I don't
mhm,
put it past him that like some of these other things were happening. I think
mhm,
I felt like it was like a crazy switch from he went from like being clearly not that into her or like what I perceived to be that to like
mhm,
all of a sudden now he's so in love and whatever. And I don't and like I said, there could be two main explanations for that. It could just be the gameplay, and he was like, "The game is going on. There ain't gonna be many more bombshells. I need to lock in so that I have a chance to win this." Or it could
mhm,
also be that he really did like her, but he has some attachment like issues and struggle with like being vulnerable and connecting and like so he would make light of things or joke or do things because he's afraid of things moving toward. But
mhm.
I don't know. I really don't know.
He didn't care about that relationship because he was thinking about the 100K. I'm gonna put that thought out there, and I'm gonna hammer that home because that was the fakest relationship out of all four at the
Oh
very end.
well.
It
And
was.
this is where we're
No,
going.
because here's the
Will
thing. Kato was like, "Oh my god, I got me a British man. He likes to eat beans on toast and crumpets." She was enamored by the accent. That's all it was.
we are gonna pivot to our last point before we wrap up, y'all,
Okay,
because
okay, okay.
I think it is going to make you change your mind about them being the fakest because I think Corbin and Parmita I think Corbin and Parmita were there was less authenticity there. Like, come on. She was literally asked on After Sun just to name one of his hobbies, and she couldn't even and she brought it up. They only asked because she said she knew his hobbies. And then they were like, what's one of his hobbies? And she was like,
Okay, I didn't watch the after sun,
uh,
but I agree with you. Their relationship was completely lust. That's all
yeah,
it was.
yeah.
And there was a lot of okay, so another thing about how I approach Love Island is from a sociological aspect where race plays a huge factor in how people are choosing partners. And I don't like saying race because there's no such thing as race, but ethnic. There were a lot of ethnic tropes that were at play. There were a lot of ethnic assumptions that were, or assumptions on how a person should behave based off their ethnicity that were at
Mm-hmm,
play when people were choosing their partners, right?
mm-hmm,
And when it comes to Corbin and Parmita, Parmita being Persian but can be white passing in the United States because on the census, Persians and Arabs, Levantine people, are considered white on the census. And Corbin being Chinese and Afro Jamaican living in Miami. And I don't know if people know anything about by Miami, but
white passing Latinos pretty much have Miami, right? And everything is based off of their caste system. And what I saw playing out, despite Corbin being multiracial of Chinese and Afro Jamaican descent, he was putting on a caricature or a trope, or I felt like he was leaning into the buck stereotype, meaning I'm just here for, or you can use my body for your pleasures.
Corbin was doing that.
Corbin, everything from from can I get a kiss to to French frying. French frying is an innuendo for some type of physical action under the covers. I'm not crass, so I'm not going to actually say it. To actually
live, maybe.
to actually getting explicit. Anyway, to getting explicit in to get it explicit on camera with someone he has known for less than 24 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think he was just there to play the game and have fun, and he knew that it was going to lead to a larger social media following.
Out of everyone in the villa, he was not playing the game. He was there to get his rocks off.
He was playing around. Yes, he was there to play around and have a good time with as many people as he could before he left. And I would
say out of everyone there, he was the only one who I think he wasn't even thinking about the 100K, because I don't know if you know this, but I don't think if you know this, but Corbin actually has his own business. He runs a luxury he runs a luxury vacation business.
I didn't know that.
Where he rents out properties that is under his business name in the Caribbean.
Yeah, the only thing he was worried about was getting his social media followers up, which I'm sure it works. Yeah, he already had the business, so then he wanted to show the world himself, because he knows people would find him, or some people would find him attractive, and that he's going to use that to build his business. So it all makes sense. Because I was like, Corbin is not here for anything serious.
He's not here for 100K.
Nah.
Like Love Games is the Hunger Games, all right? And these people were putting on a show to get to that 100K. Corbin was a blob. There's a running joke that he was Chat GPT or Corbin GPT because he showed no emotion other than, can I get a kiss?
Oh my goodness! But that is the cast, y'all. That's the summary, I guess, of our thoughts on things. We more than not, we kind of agree on most things. I think we just see it through slightly different lenses.
We agree on a lot. We approach it from various point of views, right?
Yeah, we take it, which is usually how it is. But thank y'all for joining us and tuning into this special live episode of the Bored and Overeducated podcast. Again, I am one of your hosts, Dr. B, or Dr. Binaberry, and this is my amazing co-host, my bestie of 16 years, Wilson. I almost called you by your actual name.
That's a lot of numbers.
Wilson is the last name. But yeah, and we are so happy that you all joined us today, and hopefully you enjoyed season 8 and enjoyed this discussion and breakdown. And we'll see y'all later. We're going to be doing more of these live episodes of the Bored and Overeducated podcast, so there'll be more to come. For those of you, because I can say this now real quick before I hop off, for those of you that are watching over on TikTok, please go over to YT to follow us there. Bored and Overeducated is all you have to look for, and it's also on my page. But because that way you'll be able to catch all future episodes. But we'll see y'all next time. Bye. Thank you for joining us. Have a good night. Bye everyone. Bye, besties. There we go.